Welcome to today's global news update. Trump arrives in China for critical meeting with Xi Jinping. Alberta County agrees to pay more to maintain ambulance services. Ottawa and Alberta near long-term carbon pricing agreement. Calgary police intensify crackdown at car shows and street meet UPS. Montreal fraudster used scam money on drugs, cars, and parties, court hears. Prime Minister Carney exchanges symbolic gifts with Artemis II crew. Man convicted in violent home invasion campaigns for town council. DEA warns fentanyl ingredients enter Canada through Vancouver routes. Ontario challenges Quebec language rules and push to host Defence Bank. Former Duterte ally avoids arrest in International Criminal Court investigation. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has arrived in China for a major diplomatic meeting with President Xi Jinping. The discussions are expected to focus on trade, security, global economic stability, and geopolitical tensions between the two countries. Analysts say the meeting could influence international markets and future U.S.-China relations. Both nations remain central players in global politics and economics, making the outcome of the talks closely watched around the world. A county in Alberta has decided to contribute additional funding to maintain ambulance services after the province reduced compensation rates. Local officials say emergency medical access remains a top priority for residents, especially in rural communities where response times can be critical. The decision reflects ongoing concerns about healthcare funding and service sustainability across the province. Municipal leaders are continuing discussions with provincial authorities about long-term emergency service support. Negotiations between Ottawa and Alberta are nearing completion on a proposed long-term carbon pricing framework that may gradually increase the rate to $130 per ton by 2040. Officials say the discussions are aimed at balancing economic growth with climate commitments and energy transition goals. Industry groups and environmental advocates are closely monitoring the proposal, which could significantly affect businesses, consumers, and energy policy in Canada. Calgary police have announced stronger enforcement measures aimed at illegal activities during car shows and public vehicle meetups. Authorities say the zero-tolerance approach will focus on dangerous driving, reckless stunts, excessive speeding, and public safety violations. Police officials stress that while organized automotive events can be enjoyed responsibly, unsafe behavior puts both participants and the public at risk. Increased patrols and penalties are expected throughout the season. Court documents presented in Montreal detail allegations that a suspect involved in a grandparent scam used stolen funds to finance an extravagant lifestyle that included drugs, cars, and parties. Authorities say elderly victims were manipulated into sending large sums of money through deceptive emergency claims. Investigators continue warning the public about fraud schemes targeting vulnerable individuals. The case has renewed calls for stronger fraud prevention awareness and protections for seniors. Prime Minister Mark Carney exchanged symbolic gifts with the Artemis II crew, including a commemorative coin and special flags marking the occasion. The meeting highlighted Canada's involvement in international space exploration efforts and cooperation with global space agencies. Officials say the Artemis program represents a major step toward future lunar exploration and technological advancement. The exchange also reflected Canada's growing role in scientific innovation and space partnerships. A man with a criminal past involving a violent home invasion is seeking election to a town council position, drawing mixed reactions from the community. Supporters argue individuals deserve opportunities for rehabilitation and civic participation, while critics question whether someone with such a history should hold public office. The campaign has sparked debate about redemption, accountability, and public trust in elected officials. The head of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration says fentanyl precursor chemicals are being routed through Vancouver before reaching cartel-run drug laboratories. Authorities warn that international trafficking networks continue adapting their operations to evade enforcement efforts. The opioid crisis remains a major public health and law enforcement challenge across North America. Officials from both Canada and the United States are increasing cooperation to disrupt illegal drug supply chains. Ontario officials are criticizing Quebec's language policies as part of a broader campaign to position Toronto as the preferred location for a proposed international defense bank. Provincial leaders argue Toronto offers stronger accessibility, business infrastructure, and international connectivity. The dispute highlights ongoing competition between Canadian provinces for major economic and institutional projects. Language policy and regional economic interests continue to shape political discussions across the country. Former Philippine police chief and political figure Bato de la Rosa has reportedly escaped arrest connected to an international criminal court investigation into the country's anti-drug campaign. The case remains internationally significant due to allegations of human rights violations during the previous administration's drug war. Legal experts say the situation may further complicate relations between Philippine authorities and international legal institutions. The investigation continues to draw global attention.